WSRX, and you're watching Worldwide Sim Racing, and we are just about to get underway the Belgium Grand Prix. Hello everybody, and thank you very much for coming back and watching us live on YouTube, and I'm so very excited to be calling this race for you, ladies and gentlemen. Going over the grid currently, right now we have Sweet Crown 19, your championship leader, a full 100 points ahead of Anthony 8291. WSR Gurman is sitting in third position with 84 points, 68 points for Flyby Night, 57 points for You See Me Flying. Albiku 1 is at 47 points, 34 points for the other Alfa Romeo Speed Kills 3. WSR Hartman only with 30 points, also with 30 points, Fluffanutta. WSR Voodoo 52 has 20 points on the board. Flip Flop Fish is in here as well with 18 points on the board. And then myself as the spectator. So we're just about to get ready for the start of the Belgium Grand Prix. Unfortunately, we don't have countdown timers in the lobbies anymore. I think that was part of the new patch added onto the game, so I can't tell you about that. But I think that we're good to go anyway, and we shouldn't have too much of an issue. Thank you very much for joining us. Again, my name is Noah Clark. I'm going to be your commentator this evening. We're just getting ready for the start of this race. The Belgian Grand Prix, Spa-Francorchamps, is one of the most iconic tracks on the F1 calendar, and I'm very, very excited to finally be bringing you this track to everybody. 11 drivers at the moment, hoping to get a few more before we start this race, but I don't think 11 drivers are going to be what the end result is here. Our Rouge is a tough one to master, and all the drivers have been saying how difficult this track is going to be, how difficult it's going to be to master. They got to stay on their toes, they got to stay accurate, they got to control their throttle up Air Rouge and then over Raidillon, which can really unsettle the car. You almost become weightless at the top of Raidillon, and it can become really dangerous for some of these drivers. And I can remember on multiple occasions spinning out on Upper Rouge onto Raidillon, and yeah, it's not been a fun experience, and I'm hoping the drivers here keep it together and we don't have any big spin outs, and they're able to continue the fight. Sweet Crown 19 definitively in the championship lead at the moment, though it is still only 100 points and we still have a long ways to go in this championship. Anything can happen within the next few races, so we'll just have to wait and see how Sweet Crown 19 pans it out. But at the moment, you would have to say that it's looking pretty good for the Alfa Romeo driver. Anthony 82, his championship rival in this league, he's looking to make it up as well. He's sitting at 115 points. How great would it be for Anthony 82 91 to win the race, get some more momentum going on board? We'll have to wait and see what he can do. We're just about a minute away from the start. Starts at 7:05, so I just have to manually let you know. I mean, once it hits 7:05, we'll just get into the loading screen and the game will load us up in general. Unless they turned off the, they might have made it manual starts now as well, which I know was also added in the patch. Just had a game update, and we're able to do a lot more things with the leagues, which is really nice. It gives us more control, and in turn, it gives us an option to give you a better product. We got 11 drivers currently on the grid. That might be our maximum tonight, but I think we're going to have a good one regardless. All these drivers, supremely talented. They really put it all on the line on the track, and they give it their all, and they always give us a spectacular showing. And it is hit 7:05, and we're loading into the track. Spa-Francorchamps, the longest track on the F1 calendar, going through the hills of Belgium, through the tree lines. This is really just a magical place. It's one of those tracks that is synonymous in the racing world. Eau Rouge is one of the most iconic corners in Formula One. Anybody who doesn't know about it is living under a rock, quite frankly. Not even in Formula One, but just in the entire world. This track is so iconic. Of course, the World Endurance Championship runs a 6-hour race here as well. iRacing does their own 24 hours of Spa. They just finished that as well. So sim racing, real racing, this track really rings with perfection and honor. It is really one of those perfect tracks to be a part of. So we're going to have 13 drivers on the grid in total as Kevin Magnussen and Lewis Hamilton round off AI spots. And the drivers you're hearing rev up their engines, those are in fact Hamilton and Magnussen. The AI drivers go out pretty much immediately. We might see a few other drivers, though, going out onto the grid. And it looked to be the Haas that did go on the grid. So we're getting ready for the start of this qualifying session. It's just started, but we're waiting for our first drivers to go out. I hear my first engine going, and we're going to see who that is. And it looks to be Flip Flop Fish in the Mercedes, about to get ready. There's Kevin Magnussen on his outlap right now. Lewis Hamilton behind him going down Eau Rouge. And let's ride on board with Flip Flop Fish, who is coming out. Sweet Crown 19, our championship leader, also now going out on track. I believe it is Anthony 82 in second position in the championship to follow. And let's ride on board with Anthony 8291 as he brings us through a lap of Spa-Francorchamps as you go up towards Eau Rouge, and it's flat pretty much here, and almost the car gets weightless around Radion. That's where a lot of drivers spin. Now up to the Camel Straight, where the car reaches almost in speeds of 200 miles per hour before going hard, braking into the chicane before going into the quick turns here. Quick, but you got to remember, again, it's a lot of throttle control on this track. If you take too much speed, it can really mess you up. And this is a really tough zone as well. Really hard to get on the racing line here. Going downhill, you really lose a lot of momentum. As now getting into the second sector of the lap, as a lot of drivers curling their outlaps. Fluffinutta on an outlap. Gurman, all the drivers are on outlaps except for You See Me Flying. And quite frankly, if I was You See Me Flying, I'd be still in the pits because this is going to be a really, really busy track. And let's ride on board of Sweet Crown 19. He is getting ready to start his lap. And we'll see what he can do. I think he's going to try to let Lewis Hamilton by, maybe get slipstream on him. And yes, he does let Lewis Hamilton by. Lewis Hamilton warming up his tires. Sweet Crown should do the same. Sweet Crown currently on the medium compound tire. Of course, if you're not accustomed to Formula One rules, the tire you start on your first qualifying time is the tire you will start on in the race. So Sweet Crown 19 now, and he takes a really wide line, and now he's about to get ready. DRS activated. The rear wing opens, and that allows the drag to get reduced significantly before going into turn one. And then down towards Eau Rouge. This used to be the old start-finish straight. And just look at how much this track has changed. Look at the historical track. And now up Eau Rouge onto Radion. Completely flat and looking really good indeed. As let's see how Anthony 82 is getting along now. He's on the Camel Straight as well. Hartman getting through Eau Rouge okay. As Voodoo 52 in the McLaren about to come up to Eau Rouge. Let's see what he can do, and the car looks fine. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3, and looks to be yellow flags being waved. I think some driver was just going quite slow, so nothing to worry about. No drivers with too many incidents, as WSR Gurman gets away okay as well. No drivers seemingly to have any issues at the moment. Fly By Night gets away pretty clean through there. You See Me Flying is still in the pits. He has not yet left the pits to start an outlap. And there's another yellow flag in Sector 3. And I'm really wondering, there's a big amount of traffic. Kevin Magnussen is going to be the first man to cross the line. He goes fastest. Sweet Crown 19 should follow behind him as Lewis Hamilton goes fastest. And let's see what they can do. Sweet Crown 19 now coming across the line. Let's see what they can do. As I think Albiku might have had an invalidated time. I don't believe he was on an outlap. And oh no, speed kills 3 and into the wall. The first man to spin out on Radion, and he has lost a wing, which is really lucky. And Flip Flop Fish goes fastest in this session. Sweet Crown 19. And Anthony the 82 goes fastest, though it's not a big separation into the 143s. Hartman goes 4th fastest. It's a 1:45. And the times are now piling in. Let's ride on board. Now Fly By Night goes 6th fastest. And then it's Voodoo 52 who jumps Hartman to go 4th fastest. And let's try to get with somebody here as Fluffinutta is going through the paces. And then who was that that just went into the leaderboard? It was Gurman. 4th fastest for Gurman. Speed Kills 3 now. The other Alfa Romeo coming through. Let's ride on board with Fluffinutta, who has had a pretty good showing in Hungary, but wasn't able to put it all together. He was able to get on the front row, but unfortunately not able to put all the marbles together and had pretty poor race through the rest of it. Looking to rebound as he's now coming up to the bus stop chicane, the last part of the track before opening the DRS again. And a little bit of wheel spin. That might cost him some time coming across the line. And it is a 1:46.5. And now Albiku. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2 and 3. And I don't know who that was for. Looks to be everything A-OK. I think UCME Fine is waiting for everybody to get done with their laps. The slipstream, not a huge concern around here. A lot of the drivers should be running relatively low downforce setups, though some of them might be overcompensating for our Rouge, and if they feel they need to do that, then so be it. Speed Kills 3 doesn't put in a lap. Albiku doesn't put in a lap. UCME Flying is still in the pit, surprisingly, so not yet set a lap time, not even tried to set a lap time. He might again be waiting for everybody to go into the pits, and everybody is dialing into the pits. As now there's 11 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this qualifying session, and things are getting tight. But we're going to have to wait and see what happens. It's going to be interesting as things are going well, as it seems at the moment. For Anthony 8291, it's a 1:43.3, but I have a feeling that might not be the fastest time in qualifying. All the drivers are into the pits. The only driver currently not on the pits is Fluffinutta, though he doesn't really have a lot of ERS. So let's bring up the telemetry so you can see just how fast our drivers are going. And really redlining the car up. He's got in hot lap, but there's now 3% and then going to be in 2% and then up to 1%, or down to 1% on the ERS, I should say. And then coming through the bus stop chicane, and yes, going into the pits, so that is not going to be a lap time set. And yep, UCME Flying was in fact waiting for everybody to get done, and he is about to start his first lap up through Radion, up to the Camel Straight, and he is getting ready with his outlap. Albiku 1 currently on an outlap as well. He comes out of the pits hoping to set a lap time. Speed Kills 3 still in the pits, has not yet set a lap time. Anthony 8291 and Flip Flop Fish are both out, and nope, Speed Kills 3 actually has gone out for an outlap. So the bottom 3 now getting ready for their laps. Anthony 82, our current pole position man on the Camel Straight. He's looking to get further up in the times and possibly secure pole position. It'll be another pole position for Anthony 82. Sweet Crown 19, the championship leader, only sitting in 3rd. Not the most ideal place. Though Sweet Crown 19, he said this is one of his favorite tracks. I expect him to go a little bit faster, so we might have just gotten a teaser of pace from Sweet Crown 19. Flip Flop Fish is currently sitting in 2nd position. He has had a pretty good run of things. Germany wasn't a strong suit for him, but we're going to hope that he can put it back together again in Spa and hopefully keep it all together. There was a grid spot penalty pending for Flip Flop Fish. Though I don't know if that gets applied or not because he was because he couldn't make it to the previous race, so I don't know if that means anything. Oh, look at that, Speed Kills 3 has had wing damage and he's gonna have to go back into the pits. When I say low downforce, I don't mean that low, so unfortunate for him. Let's ride on board actually with UCME Flying. Let's see how he can do as he's coming up to Radion and then through Radion and up Air Rouge, and the car loses it a little bit. You can see he was really struggling for grip there as going through Fluffinutta as Fluffinutta runs up on the grass, making sure not to get into UCME Flying's way, is braking hard after the straight, and you can see the telemetry down there. Look how fast, almost 100 miles per hour through that chicane, and then 110 miles per hour through that turn, and then again even faster. Yellow flag in sector 1 and 2 And there's more carnage going on right now. I don't know if that was Fluffinutta letting by a teammate. Nevertheless, there was an incident of some kind. A yellow flag of some kind. Let's go right on board. Anthony82 is trying to set a quicker lap time. Let's see what he can do. He's going through Sector 2 now. And Anthony82 would love to get a race win under his belt. It hasn't happened for a little bit. Hoping to have better luck. And there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. I don't know who that was for. I could only assume it was for... Nope, you see me flying is alright. He's going through Sector 3 right now. And, Voodoo 52. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. And I think that we've had our first fatality up Radion. Let's see. Riding on board. The yellow flag has to slow down, and yep, the carcass of Voodoo 52 on the side of the track, our first victim up Radion. The grip just completely falls away. Yellow flag in Sector 1. Normally this would cause a red flag incident, but we don't have any red flags in the game, so that's not going to happen. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3, and I don't know who that was for specifically. You see me flying, hit a 144.4. That's going to promote him to 4th position. Voodoo 52 sitting in 6th, so not the worst position to be in at the having crashed out of qualifying. Gernman sitting in 5th now. He's gone dethroned a little bit. Sweet Crown 19 now as up. Well, he drops a little bit. Now his fly-by-night goes faster, going in the 6th position. And he should be coming up now to the 3rd sector. Let's see what the Sector 2 time is going to be for Sweet Crown 19. As he's racing with that gold helmet. It's 8/10 down on his previous lap time. And it's not quick enough for pole position. But it might beat Flip-Flop Fish's time as long as he can keep it together in Sector 3. And there's no DRS through this section, but the turns are fast. 202 miles per hour before braking hard for the bus stop. And then down all the way to 50 miles per hour. On the start-finish straight, DRS activated. Let's see what the time is going to be. And it is... Oh, no, it's going to be pole position. It's a 1:43.292. So really quick lap. Anthony82 gets dethroned from pole position. And that is really big stuff. Sweet Crown 19 again on pole position. Looking for another one. Again, I told you the pace hadn't been found yet, but it was going to happen eventually as Flip-Flop Fish looks to be going quite slow. Yes, he is. So not the lap of the ages, it would seem, as he goes into the pits. Another yellow flag in Sector 3. And I didn't see who that was for, but nevertheless, Fluffinutta now going through the paces. Let's see what he can do. It looks to be a decent lap. He is going to go faster, I think, and yep, he goes for 7th fastest, so jumps Voodoo 52. Now Voodoo 52 all the way down in 8th position. Hartman now, I believe he has set another lap time, so I don't think this is a... Well, we're going to have to wait and see. Sector 3 now, he's going through the final long straight and then up to the bus stop chicane, and no, I think this is it. Not a quick lap time from Hartman. I think it's going to go back into the pits. And yes, back into the pits for the Haas driver. All the drivers in the pits. Speed Kills 3, though, has not yet set a lap time. And you just got to get something on the board here. Get a time at least. You do not want to be starting from the back, though maybe you do, because a lot of drivers might have some incidents in turn 1. I'm hoping lap 1 is not a complete crap show, as it, a lot of drivers can really lose it. But we're gonna hope and see if things can keep it together. Fluffinutta is sitting in the Renault in 7th position, ahead of Voodoo 52, who was again out of the session. Our first victim up Radion, losing it, and another yellow flag now. This is in Sector 2. And there's somebody on their outlap, a few drivers on their outlaps right now, including Anthony82, who was sitting in 2nd position. He's only a 10th off of Sweet Crown 19, and that gives me feelings that Anthony82 might have a little bit more up his sleeve, as that was only his first time, and I believe he said it on the medium, so now he's on the soft. So I think Anthony 82 might have a little bit more up his sleeve here, as he is looking really fast this weekend. As another yellow flag in Sector 3. Riding on board with the Red Bull of Anthony 82 91. His teammate, You See Me Flying, is also sitting pretty dandy in 4th position, only a place down from his teammate, Flip Flop Fish in the Mercedes, sitting in 3rd. So a pretty good place for him. And I believe Anthony 82, yes, Anthony 82, currently the quicker Red Bull at the moment to getting to their next lap. It is only 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go, so this should be the final lap attempt from the Red Bull man, unless he can string another one, as there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. And let's see, I think that might be up Radion, I don't know. We're going to have to wait. Let me see if I can flip through and up. Yep, it is Fluffinutta who has big damage. But now Anthony 82 is coming up Radion, and we got to make sure that he gets out of the way here. As now let's see what the Renault does do, and he makes sure to get out of the way. Everything going fine, okay for him, and Fluffinutta has retired from the session. And I think he might have had an accident. And Lewis Hamilton is out of the session. I think he had an accident up Radion as well. I don't know what happened specifically. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1, 2, and 3. Big flags, yellows everywhere. And I hope this isn't going to mess up too many drivers. Riding on board of Gurman right now so we can see what might have happened. I don't know if Fluffinutta crashed into Lewis Hamilton. All the yellow flags seem to be gone, though, so I don't think we have anything too much to worry about, as Anthony 82 now going to Sector 2. Let's see what he can do. What time is he going to set? Is he going to be faster? And he's looking really on edge. And now, yes, it is faster right now than Sweet Crown 19. Sweet Crown 19, though, he should just get about around in time. As now Anthony 82 looking to go faster, looking to put his Red Bull on pole position, going through the bus stop chicane. It's looking really on board right now as he activates DRS. No wheel spin. Looking fine indeed. And into the 143.056. It's two tenths off, almost 3 tenths off of his previous, down on his previous time. Sweet Crown 19 is going to have a lot of work to do to get on pole position. Now, can he get into the 142s and really shut the door? Because he's going to have to essentially do that. Unless he can get a 100th down or so. That would be really exciting. It just shows how close the drivers at the top really are. They really are in a league of their own, it almost seems at times. But we're going to have to wait and see. As let's ride on board with Sweet Crown 19 as he's going down towards Radion and then up Rouge. There's a lot of yellow flags being waved pretty much everywhere. And I think drivers are just going a little slow. And Anthony 82 has retired from the session. There must have been a crash somewhere. I don't know what happened there. So we're riding on board of Sweet Crown 19, so if anything, we'll see what happened. Anthony 82 did crash, I think. Might have just retired on track. I don't know. Let's see. Here's the yellow flag, and yes, there is a accident. Anthony 82 has crashed in some form of capacity, and Flip Flop Fish has also had an accident. And there's huge carnage all over track. Flip Flop Fish isn't challenging for pole position. We're going to really look at the Sector 2 time. This is where a lot of time can be lost. And a lot of drivers out. Fluffinutta's out. Voodoo's out. Hamilton's out. Anthony 82 is out of qualifying. He's sitting on pole position, though. So as long as Sweet Crown 19 doesn't dethrone him, we'll have to wait and see how much faster is he going to be going now. And it's going to be 400ths down, but that's not quick enough for pole position. But can he recover it in the 3rd sector? As now, I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I think I'm seeing a few little slivers of rain, though maybe the definition isn't high enough for you to see that. As now, the clouds are pretty bright here, but we're going to have to wait and see through the bus stop chicane, lightly hitting the corners. Let's see what he can do. Oh, Beacon 1 retires, and now it is not going to be pole position. It's an increase. But Anthony 82 is on pole position. Sweet Crown 19 did everything he could. Gurman finishes ahead of You See Me Flying in 4th position. You See Me Flying knocked down the 5th position. Let's look at Fly By Night. What is he going to do? And no, this is going to be an abysmal lap time. But Anthony 8291 is on pole position for the Red Bull. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I think the most exciting part is going to be the start of this race. Here's the lineup for you all. It's Anthony 8291 in first position ahead of Sweet Crown 19. Flip Flop Fish in third. Gurman in third. Fourth for Gurman. Used to be flying in fifth. Elbiku 1 in sixth. And Fly By Night in seventh. Eighth for Fluffanutta. Voodoo 52 in ninth. Hartman in 10th. And Lewis Hamilton and Kevin Magnussen in 11th and 12th. And Speed Kills 3 not able to set a lap time, all the way down in 13th position. Really exciting stuff, boys, and I'm really happy to be calling this race for all of you. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a really good one. And we're just getting ready for the start of the race. The rings of loading next to the drivers, and I'm hoping that we don't get any issues at the start of the race, though we haven't had them in a bit. The session is about to start in about 30 seconds. It's a hit or miss sometimes when the game decides it wants to act accordingly, but we're going to hope for the best as we get some check marks. I think we're going to be good to go. It's usually internet connections, but I think everything's going to be A-okay, and we can get ready for the actual start of the formation lap and then the start of the race. Cloudy skies right now for Belgium, and I don't know if that means we're going to have some rain in the future. And yes, we will get a formation lap. As let's go over the order as a bunch of cars pop up on the grid already, and let's get ready. Anthony 8291 in the Red Bull, number 91 in first position. Sweet Crown 19 in number 19 in second position. Flip Flop Fish 4 in third. Gurman is in fourth. Usumi Flying rounds off the top 5. Elbiku 1 in the Renault in sixth. Fly By Night in the Toro Rosso behind him. Fluffanutta in the other Renault in 8th position. Voodoo 52 had a crash, and he's sitting in 9th, ahead of Hartman in 10th position. Lewis Hamilton and Kevin Magnussen in 11th and 12th, respectively. And the other Alfa Romeo of Speed Kills 3, not able to set a lap time, and he is going to sit all the way down in 13th position. Cloudy skies here in Belgium, and sometimes it means rain. I'm hoping it doesn't rain. We've had a little bit too many rain races, I think, in this league. Though if it's an on and off rain, it could be interesting. Could play in the strategies quite a lot. 22 laps are all that we get around this track. It really is such a long track. Lap times at about 1 minute 50, so almost 2 minutes per lap. So we just get a measly 22 laps around here, and that's what's considered half of a race. But trust me, they're going to feel quite long. Lots of areas to overtake, but really it's the first sector up the Camel Straight. Are we going to see Sweet Crown charge Anthony 82 like Sebastian Vettel did this year onto Lewis Hamilton on the Camel Straight? And actually he did it the year prior. And I'm hoping that it's going to be really exciting. Anthony 82, not able to win a race in quite a while. Had a pretty bad showing in Hungary, looking to rebound as he's ahead of his championship rival, Sweet Crown 19. The battle is getting ever so further away from Anthony 82, but anything can happen in the final half of this season. And let's get ready. You see me flying, a little mic talk. I think just encouraging the drivers. Stay clean. Stay consistent. No first lap nonsense. Everything should be A-okay. As now he's going to line up onto his grid position and look to be one of the Renaults. I think that was Elbiku, who did not. And, used to be flying, actually didn't do a formation lap either. Though, see if that affects their tire warm-up a little bit. You do get disqualified, and coincidentally, you don't get to warm up your tires. And they're all lining up now And look at all that. The drivers are on the grid right now. I think they're all right there. And we're getting, nope, Speed Kills 3, the last man in the lineup. And he slots into his grid position. And here we get ready for the 5 red lights. And it's going to be 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And in Belgium, it is go! And Anthony 8291 gets a good start ahead of Sweet Crown 19 going into turn 1. Oh, no issues for him. Going a little bit deep, and now Gurman goes really deep, and he almost loses it. Coming back on track now, but Sweet Crown 19 now following Anthony 82 up Air Rouge as they go up towards Air Rouge onto the top of Radion. Now coming up to the Camel Straight. Speed Kills 3 now is way down the rest of the grid. He's actually bumped up the little few places, and here comes Sweet Crown 19 pulling alongside Anthony 8291 and side by side into the turn, and no, Anthony 82 does get ahead of him. Flip Flop Fish stays in 3rd position. Anthony 82 though keeping it all together, and the battle is not over yet, but Anthony 8291 able to keep it together in those last few moments as Sweet Crown 19 almost got it going, as now Fly By Night gets ahead of Gurman. And now, oh, look at that, a little bit of a move on the outside. I don't know if he might have to give that position back. He tried to make it on over the curb, and now running a little too wide. Fly By Night is now, look at this, Flip Flop Fish is battling Sweet Crown 19 for 2nd position. And no, Sweet Crown 19 takes the position back. But Anthony 82 actually running away with this a little bit. Looks like Sweet Crown 19 not in the total pace that he would like right now, as we're on lap 1 right now and we're about to get done. And now Voodoo 52 is out of the session. And a big accident. There it is. There's a huge accident for him. It looks like he might have spun. And now Fly By Night gets ahead of You See Me Flying. And now Gurman trying to pass. And look at that. That's a great move and all. A little bit touchy-feely there, as now You See Me Flying has to go into the pits. Is there damage on his car? I don't know if there is. There must be some sort of wing damage on the car. And going on, let's see what happened here. Yes, there is a front wing change for him, as now Sweet Crown 19 is getting battled from Flip Flop Fish, and oh no, losing it up Air Rouge. And then now Flip Flop Fish will have him in his sights and putting it into overtake, and Voodoo 52 has left the session. Something had happened. Either he spun out or got taken out. Nevertheless, he's out of the session. Sweet Crown 19 keeping 2nd position. Flip Flop Fish just behind him, and now Fluffinutta getting ahead of Lewis Hamilton, but Lewis Hamilton won't go down without a fight, and he almost did lunge back down. Fluffinutta sitting in 7th position though. Albiku 1 is in 6th position. Gurman is in 5th. Fly By Night all the way in 4th position, and the drivers are really running wide up on that curb. Flip Flop Fish in the podium position though. He's just 6/10ths behind Sweet Crown 19. Sweet Crown 19 not on the usual pace that we see from him. He's dropping back a little bit from Anthony 8291. We're on lap 2 now. We're about to get on to lap 3. DRS will then be activated. DRS on the main straight, and then it's also on the Camel Straight. So 2 big DRS zones where a lot of slipstream happens. Flip Flop Fish battling for that last podium position, and all the drivers, no issues up Air Rouge. We're going to hope and see if that doesn't happen. Looks like Flip Flop Fish might be looking to get the move done early, but no, nothing happens of it. And now DRS activated. It's lap 3. Flip Flop Fish goes fastest, and now going into turn 1, is a move going to be made? No. Flip Flop Fish keeps behind him, but he's really, really close. And now they're going to be coming up Air Rouge, and when you see the red light on the back of the car, that means the battery's charging. That lets the other drivers know behind, and now coming up Air Rouge towards Radion. Now DRS is going to be activated down this Camel Straight, and Flip Flop Fish is going to have huge amounts of pace. Sweet Crown 19 doesn't have DRS. He pulls alongside him. Sweet Crown 19 takes the inside line, but it might be futile. And yes, Sweet Crown 19 takes it. And now Hartman has spun, and he's all the way down in 10th position. He lets by Kevin Magnussen and Lewis Hamilton. And it looks to be some front wing damage. I think he might have lost it up Radion. Speed Kills 3 all the way down in last position. And You See Me Flying is in 11th. Not a good start for the Red Bull driver. Anthony 8291 is in first. Flip Flop Fish is in second position, ahead of Sweet Crown 19. Getting a update from Voodoo 52. He did go wide and hit the wall and spun. There was no contact from drivers, so good to hear that. And we'll catch up with you if there's any more incidents in this race. But getting an update from there, no contact from other drivers, so that's good to hear. But unfortunate for Voodoo 52, the crash this early in the race. Not able to really get into it. Not a great showing in Hungary for him, but he did have a pretty good move on Kevin Magnussen in the race. But he's going to look to improve in the next race. As now Sweet Crown 19, though, is the man in the slipstream, and he's going to be down the main straight. We're going to see if he can try to make a move on the inside, though. This is really just to stay with the driver in front. Not a lot of moves being made in the turn one. It's really Eau Rouge and then up Radion where you start to see some moves being made. As Sweet Crown 19, no. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3, and Speed Kills 3 has retired from the session. And I think all the drivers that could have seen that are not here anymore. As now, let's ride on board. Sweet Crown 19 is he's in DRS, but he actually dropped back quite a lot. Speed Kills 3 leaves the session, a DNF for him. And now You See Me Flying takes over Hartman, who goes into the pits, and there's going to be a front wing change for him after that collision with the wall. As You See Me Flying now goes to 10th position. A little bit of a 1 point at the moment for him, and looking to improve on that lap, on that position is now Gurman, still chasing down Fly By Night. These two have had some really good battles in the past and looking to have more, as it's the Sports Pezza Racing Point car up against the Scuderia Toro Rosso car, the pink and blue versus the blue, white, and red. And both of those cars, well, to be honest here, the Racing Point isn't exactly the best-looking car on the grid. But the Scuderia Toro Rosso, a pretty nice-looking car, if I say so myself, as Gurman now actually drops behind a little bit by about 8. He's at about 8/10 now, so he's still in DRS range and hoping to keep within that slipstream and make sure he gets DRS down the straight. That's going to help him a lot as he heads up towards Eau Rouge. And now, let's see, and now through the bus stop chicane, keeps it together, and he's just going to have DRS. Opens up the slot. That's going to help him quite a lot. Stay together with Fly By Night, and yep, look how close they get as Fly By Night braking really late, keeps it together, and now they're really close. And now Fly By Night runs up on the curb a little bit, and that's going to lose him some time, as you can see. Gurman is all over him right now as they're going up Eau Rouge through Radion. The car again squirming a lot. Both drivers squirming a lot, but now DRS activated, and Fly By Night's a sitting duck here. The slipstream is huge. Look how big the slipstream is, and he passes by Fly By Night easily. Will Fly By Night look on the inside? No. No, a little bit too far back. Don't want to be making any dumb mistakes as Gurman slots into 4th position. Some pretty exciting stuff in the beginning of this race. We're on lap 5 now of 22 already, and look at this. Gurman really battling with Fly By Night, as Fly By Night looking for different avenues to overtake Gurman. Gurman gets ahead of Fly By Night, but not able to keep up the pace, and now he goes too wide, and Fly By Night is all over the back of that rear diffuser. Of course, Fly By Night looking to a change of fortunes here. He's had so many good positions he could have possibly had, and then thrown them away by mistakes, crashes, things like that, hoping that Spa is the weekend where he can really get a good point-scoring finish and get further up in the championship tables. And sitting in 5th position, that's a good haul of points right there, as he's keeping in the slipstream of Gurman, and he's actually closer to Gurman than Gurman was to Fly By Night on the previous lap. Going to the bus stop chicane, and yep, DRS will be activated. He's within a second on the DRS zone. There's that flap opening up as Gurman down the main straight, the start-finish straight, going through turn 1, really misses the apex. But Fly By Night must have had a really bad run, because he's actually almost, yeah, he is out of a second now, so something must have happened. He must have had a really bad run through turn 1, because he's lost whatever momentum he had through Gurman. And Gurman's going to keep on with with fourth position at the moment. So obviously some sort of mistake made by him. Let's see. Anthony 82 now is on that soft compound tire. And he's 1.8 seconds ahead of Flip Flop Fish, almost 1.9, as Albiku gets hit with a 3-second time penalty for multiple track extension / track cutting warnings. The game gives you increments of 3-second time penalties for breaking those rules too many times. And let's see, Fly By Night has gone back a little bit within that second, but he's dropping back again, so not able to keep up with the slipstream. And oh no, and there's a big incident. Oh no, Fly By Night is out of the session. He has had a big accident. Albiku misses him, and Fly By Night is out of the race. Another incident for Fly By Night, and it has cost him another good point scoring finish. A yellow flag in sector 2 and 3, that would almost always cause a safety car, but the game not doing it for us. Why? Well, I don't actually have a why for you, because there should be a safety car. Fly By Night, though, is out of the race. Something must have happened, because he was really squirming there and then crashing into the wall. It looked unorthodox almost. Really lost a lot of grip through sector 2. And now Used to Be Flying gets promoted into 9th position, but Fly By Night losing it in the second sector, and his race is done. So unfortunate scenes for him. He is out of the race. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, getting a little bit of a tickle in my throat. As we're going through the paces in this race, a lot of drivers separated by a few gaps. And Used to Be Flying's on that hard compound tire, so he's going to go pretty far into this race. As Anthony 8291 is in first position. We're already on lap 7 of this race, so almost kind of already halfway done. I mean, it seems like it's I think the game doesn't allocate the amount of laps it should really for this track, because yeah, it's a really long track, but you almost feel like everything's already done. It doesn't feel as epic as it should. We're on lap 7 already, but there's only 22 laps. This should be a one-stop strategy for most of these drivers. They're going pretty far with those soft compound tires. The real thing is, though, is who's going to pit first. Is it going to be Sweet Crown 19 go for an undercut, or will Anthony 82 be the first man to pit and try his own undercut? We'll have to wait and see about that, as we're still running on board with Anthony 82, and he does not pit this lap. He's going to go on to lap 8. And Flip Flop Fish, though, in second, does pit. He should be putting on the medium compound tire. Sweet Crown 19 then moves in the second. He does also not make a pit stop. And let's see what it is. It is the medium compound tire for Flip Flop Fish. And he will look to go to the end of the race, as I would presume. Gurman has not made a pit stop either. And Flip Flop Fish actually drops all the way to 5th. So not ideal in terms of gaps, but he remains a second. He's about a second behind Albiku 1. So he's got time to make up one position, as those soft compound tires are going to fall off quite quickly in this race. And you're gonna have to make a pit stop relatively soon, I would think. Used to Be Flying should be good to go till the end of the race, though. His tire should be quite slow, though. He's actually catching up to Lewis Hamilton. And he's coming up towards Eau Rouge right now. I don't think he would be wanting them to try to make a move up Eau Rouge. You got to be careful following drivers through Eau Rouge. You have so much less downforce. Really unsettles the car. And you can get in some incidents. And now passing Lewis Hamilton, and roughs up Lewis Hamilton a little bit, but gets ahead of him regardless. And now Flip Flop Fish gets ahead of Albiku 1 into 4th position. The top 2 drivers yet to respond with pit stops. Let's ride on board with Anthony 8291. He's currently the closest man to be making a pit stop anytime soon, but will he make it this lap? It's lap 8 of 22. Those soft compound tires, I would presume, would be running down a little bit in their lifespan. Might be a good time to do it soon, as, yep, Anthony 82 into the pits. And nope, Sweet Crown 19 does not make a pit stop. And now here is the big game. Sweet Crown 19. Will he win this race? Can he keep ahead of him as now the medium tires go on for Anthony 82? He's going to exit the pits. What is that gap going to be? That's the real big question here. Gurman, he might get ahead. Yep, he does get ahead. And Flip-Flop Fish might jump. And yes, he does. Anthony 82. He's behind him. How much is he behind, though, by? Actually, no, he's in second. He does just get ahead of Flip-Flop Fish. So keeping it together, it's only a 13-second gap. So at the moment, the undercut could work, but Flip-Flop Fish is in slipstream, and Usumi finds him hit with a 3-second time penalty. DRS activated, and now this is bad news. He's going to get past Flip-Flop Fish. Gets passed by Anthony 82.91, and Flip-Flop Fish has gone ahead of him. And that is bad, bad news. As Usumi Flying gets passed by WSR Fluffernutter. Fluffernutter gets hit with his own 3-second time penalty, though, for insult to injury. And he's like, I just passed him, and I got hit with a 3-second time penalty. Is that the rule I broke? That I overtake a driver? Unfortunate for me. Anthony 82.91, though, he's got to get ahead of Flip-Flop Fish because he does not want to get jumped by the Mercedes driver in this pit stop strategy. Sweet Crown 19, though, 13 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. How much longer will he go on those tires? I would presume not too much longer. You can extend your gap a little bit, but you can't really extend it too far, or you really start to lose time to the rest of the grid. And let's see if he's going to make that pit stop. And yes, the pit stop for Sweet Crown 19. But the real question is, how many positions does Sweet Crown 19 lose as the result of this pit stop? Flip-Flop Fish will pass him. Anthony 82 will pass him. Albiku 1, does he get ahead of the Alfa Romeo as Sweet Crown 19 now putting on those medium compound tires? Sweet Crown 19 into third position. Nope, Albiku 1 actually goes into the pits as well. Matches Sweet Crown 19. Gurman, though, should remain behind Sweet Crown 19. Yes, he does. And the gap now is 3.3 seconds in third position. So, Sweet Crown 19 in third. And Flip-Flop Fish is in the lead of this race. The undercut has really worked out for Flip-Flop. And he leads the race right now. The Belgium Grand Prix, it was looking like an Anthony 82 Sweet Crown 19 battle. But out of nowhere, it was Flip-Flop Fish who actually stole the race lead at the moment. He's going to look to keep that together as we're about to get through just about the halfway point in this race. Getting close to it at least. Very interesting. Flip-Flop Fish keeping it all together. And he's able to jump ahead of Anthony 82.91 in the pits. Let's right on board of Fluffernutter. He's sitting in 6th position. Albiku 1 is in 5th. And he's now dropped behind by about he's at 1.3 seconds now. So gap's starting to form a little bit again. It's really all about tire deg. How much can you keep these tires alive all the way till the end? Again, it should be a one-stop strategy. Those softs lasted about 10 laps. About 9 laps. So these should last at least, I think, 12 to 14 laps. So realistically speaking, these tires should be good to go. They will start to fall off at the end. But the real danger now is that they're not on that soft compound tire. The spins up or Rouge and Radeon could be worse. As Flip-Flop Fish now sets the fastest lap of the race on that medium compound tire, that older medium compound tire. Anthony 82 on newer tires. But Flip-Flop Fish, though, able to keep it together, riding up Air Rouge to the top of Radeon. And it looks all planted from here. Anthony 82 follows behind him, and then Sweet Crown 19 in the Alfa Romeo in third. We're not used to Sweet Crown 19 scrapping for a podium position, but that's the current situation in the race right now. Gurman sitting in 4th. Albiku and Fluffernutter are in 5th and 6th. Both Alfa Romeos next to each other. Usumi Flying, though, is hunting down Fluffernutter for another position. And both drivers looking A-OK as now Usumi Flying up the Camel Straight. Kevin Magnussen now coming up. Everything would be okay with him. Hartman now sits in 9th position. It's not last. Last is reserved for Lewis Hamilton at the moment. and everything A-okay. And oh, nope, and Hartman's getting hit with a 3-second time penalty. He really cut a big part of Radion, and that's going to cost him a penalty. And it's going to kill any chances of him catching up to Kevin Magnussen, I would presume. We're on lap 11 of 22 now. 12 laps to go in this race. Those mediums should go to the end, though it is going to be hard. And at the end, it depends how much these drivers are pushing. I don't know how much Flip-Flop Fish is pushing. He might find it easy, he might find it difficult. Nevertheless, he currently sits in first. Anthony 82.91 sits in second. Sweet Crown 19 in third. Gurman in fourth. Albiku 1 in fifth. Anthony 82, though, goes fastest on track with a 147.5. So fastest man on track is the man in second position. Anthony 82 on the newer medium tires. So that's one of the things. Flip-Flop Fish did undercut Anthony 82, but Anthony 82 is going to have newer tires, and as long as Anthony 82 doesn't make any mistakes on track and ruin his tires, there should be a tire advantage, very much so, for Anthony 82 over Flip-Flop Fish, and he should be able to take first position away from him. We'll see, we'll see. Lap 12 of 22 now. So, getting into the dying laps of this race, so we're already at the halfway point, so it doesn't feel like it's very long. It is a long track, but the lap's still going by quickly. I guess it's longer than it feels like, but I gotta tell you, man, this race is so very quick, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that much. Gap's really starting to form now. Anthony 82 is still trying to chase down Flip-Flop Fish for the lead. Sweet Crown 19 is a bit of a no factor at the moment. He's 3.5 seconds off of Anthony 82. Gurman is a non-factor completely, 10 seconds off of Gurman, and then a further 13 seconds for Albiku in fifth position. Fluffinutta, though, used to be flying, chasing him down. About 1.2, 1.3 seconds, moving them respectively. A little bit of sun gazing on track, and oh, the Red Bull looked a little squirmy there, and running up on the curb quite a lot is used to be flying right there, and he's seeming to maybe push it a little bit too much. Some of these curbs, you really got to watch out, because if you ride some of them, they can ruin your race, absolutely ruin it. And all the drivers looking pretty good, as a little bit wide up Rouge through Radion, and might lose him a little bit of time, though not too much. As Sweet Crown 19 gets on the camel straight, no problemo. As Gurman now coming up Rouge through Radion. Albiku 1 is all the way back in fifth, but Fluffinutta, his teammate, is catching him. Now, teammates aside, you know, one of you wants to get ahead, and I don't know if Fluffinutta wants to get ahead of Albiku or he wants to stay put and keep Usumi flying behind. So Usumi flying's now within a second, and DRS, nope, no DRS now, but he is within the slipstream, and now the slipstream is really helping him out, and we might see him move very soon in this race from Usumi flying over Fluffinutta. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is WSRX or Noah Clark. You're watching the 2019 Formula World Championship. It is the Belgium Grand Prix. Flip-Flop Fish 4 leads the race ahead of Anthony 82, and Sweet Crown 19 sitting in third position. Thank you very much. If you're enjoying our content, make sure to subscribe for weekly content. We upload all sorts of videos, including the races that you see right now. And make sure to follow us on Instagram, _worldwide_sim_racing_ for all the updates of when races are about to start. You get a lot of promo from us. Make sure to check that out. And then follow us on our Facebook page, Worldwide Sim Racing, for pretty much all of the updates you can expect from Worldwide Sim Racing. That includes penalties, things like that will be posted on there. And you'll definitely want to stay tuned for that. Lap 14 of 22 now. There's really not a lot of laps to go. The race does seem short, as Usumi flying really gets close to Fluffinutta going through there, and now Fluffinutta had a little bit of a mistake, I think. DRS is activated now for Usumi flying, and coming up really close with under half a second now running, who runs a little wide, looked to be used to be flying, who ran a little wide, but not too bad, is now coming up Rouge, up through Radillon. The car becomes weightless. Can he keep it together? Dropping back a little bit, but I think it's good to go as German is out of the session. Yellow flags. German has had an incident. Where's that yellow flag? Yellow flag's being waved on right there. There's the crash. German's carcass of a car. It's not he didn't crash through Radillon. He crashed after the Camel Straight. Unfortunate. German's out of this session. The other driver battling with fly-by-night, having car issues of his own, and he is out of the session. Kevin Magnussen jumps in. There goes Hartman in 8th. And Hamilton will get promoted to 9th position once he catches up a full 57 seconds behind German at the time of the crash. So a really huge gap. And German unfortunately crashing. And that is going to be bad news for him, as now used to be flying runs wide on the grass. That's going to kill a huge amount of time. And now, yup, that gap over a second again. And the DRS is going to have to build that momentum up again and then get back into DRS striking range. Flip-Flop Fish sitting in first. Anthony 8291 in second. All the drivers racing relatively clean here. Not a lot of overtakes, though, in the race. The drivers getting a little bit spaced out from each other. We've had a lot of retirements. German, Fly-By-Night, Speed Kills 3, and Voodoo 52 are all out of this race. They've all had their own separate accidents. Nothing from the fault of any driver, really, though. It really was just driver mistakes, unfortunately. Hoping to get it together, as make sure to tune in next weekend on Sunday at 7:05 Eastern Standard Time, the Italian Grand Prix. We're going to be back at Monza again, another time on the F1 calendar, now in the WSR calendar, and it's going to be an awesome place. Monza, that track, it's just, the speeds are so high. It's going to be really interesting to see the top speeds we see on that track. And if you really like high-speed tracks, well then this track and the next track are really for you. And I think drivers like Sweet Crown 19 are really going to like that track, and they're really going to do really well. We'll have to wait and see. Hartman now catching up towards Kevin Magnussen. Used to be flying. Has gained back some time to Fluffernutter. Now he's within 0.6 of a second, but running wide again, going into the turn. And he's losing himself time. And Sweet Crown 19 goes fastest. It's a 1:4.73, it looked like. So going pretty fast is Sweet Crown 19, but he's still 2.6 seconds, now 2.7 seconds behind Anthony 8291. Let's ride on board with Usimi Flying. And Usimi Flying makes a really big dive bomb, and no, that move was never going to work. And he lets by Fluffernutter, and he goes really deep in the corner. And now there's a yellow flag in Sector 3. Kevin Magnussen, the teammate of the Haas driver. We're going to look on board and see what happened. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. And nope, we're going to see Lewis Hamilton. We'll see what happened. And now, big incident, and the car ghosts. But Kevin Magnussen loses the car. A crash for the Haas driver of Grosjean in this race in the Russian Grand Prix. And now another Haas driver, as Hartman has crashed and he is out of the session. And the only driver in the Haas team remaining is Kevin Magnussen. Hartman has his own incident. Surprisingly, Eau Rouge is not the area of accidents at the moment in this race. Anthony 82, I would like to mention, has actually decreased the gap quite a bit. And is that those tires falling off? Again, Flip-Flop Fish stopped much earlier than Anthony 8291. Those tires might be falling off a little bit. Anthony 82 might have a pace advantage over him. And that's going to be interesting. As Anthony 82, did he save himself here? Was he relying on that? We'll have to wait and see as he's getting closer and closer to him. And now it's 1.1 seconds. The gap is falling a lot as tenths and tenths are coming off. And now coming up through Rouge onto Radion, and look at that slipstream. And yup, now is he gonna get within a second up to the Camel Straight? No, so no DRS, but he's in the slipstream regardless. And Sweet Crown 19 gets hit with a rare 3-second time penalty, and that's gonna that might hurt him. That might have just I think that's killed his race, quite frankly. But Anthony 82 is putting on a scare right now for Flip Flop Fish. I think Flip Flop might have stopped a little bit too early, because Anthony 82 91, he's got it all together right now. And now that gap, that gap is now within a second. Things are getting really, really dicey. Anthony 82 91 looking to make a move on Flip Flop Fish for the lead of this race. The gap now 0.8 of a second. The man who wanted to get into first position in the championship, and loses it a little bit, and that's going to lose him some time. And now that gap 1.2 seconds. Hopefully he can get that back as they go through the final turn. And now look at that, Flip Flop Fish ran a little wide on the curb, so he might have gained back some time into the slipstream. Anthony 82 has got to make sure he keeps it together. Now back within a second. Can he stay? No, now out of a second, losing time. And now into the braking zone. Let's see. No, I think he might just get it. He goes under a second again. Is he going to have it? No, not into the DRS zone. Unable to get that DRS detection zone activated in time, even though going under a second. And now he's within a second again. He's got in the slipstream. Now going down Rouge up to the top of Radion, and the gap is hovering just around there, and now I think he's going to have it now. DRS should be activated, and yes, DRS is activated. This is going to help him tremendously get very, very close to Flip Flop Fish. There's not going to be a move made, but it decreases the gap substantially. Now that gap is only 0.7 of a second, and as long as Anthony 82 can keep it together, it's now 0.6 of a second. As long as Anthony 82 can keep it together and stay consistent, now 0.5 of a second, he should be able to take the lead of this race again in the final few laps of this race. Anthony 82 is challenging for the lead of this race. He got jumped by Flip Flop Fish. We'll give it to Fish. He had a great strategy on him, but now Anthony 82 has got him in his sights. He wants this race victory. Let's just hope they stay clean, as he's staying really, really close to that Mercedes driver. And now things are getting really dicey for Flip Flop Fish. And Anthony 82's not making any mistakes. He's staying wired in right now. He is on a hunt for first position. The gap now under half a second. 0.4 of a second for him. Now going to jump below 0.4 of a second. Now it's only going to be 0.3 of a second. Is a move going to be made on the inside? No. But he is very close to the rear diffuser of him. And now look how close they are. And the move might be made in the turn one before we even get to the Camel Straight. Let's see what happens here. Is a move going to be made on the inside? No. Looks on the outside, but keeps it together. But the Camel Straight is going to be what I think keeps it together for him, as now up through Rouge, up to Radion. No mistakes. 0.3 of a second, now almost 0.4, but DRS is going to be activated, and this should be an easy move made for him. As no, the slipstream did not help him quite a lot, and now he couldn't make a move. Flip Flop Fish kept it together. That is interesting. Flip Flop Fish must have had some glorious run through there, and now the gap is actually starting to increase a bit again. He's still close to him though. This is not over yet. Anthony 82 still with many chances to catch up to Flip Flop Fish, but Flip Flop Fish has lost a lot of pace here, and now, well, you see he's running it in 0 ERS, saving up as much battery life as possible. I'm assuming he's putting it on the Camel Straight, but you would think even on the Camel Straight, even with overtake activate, doesn't have that DRS like Anthony 82 has. It should be an easy move. Now Flip Flop Fish still getting challenged by Anthony 82 91. Sweet Crown 19 though, definitively out of this race at the moment. Elbiku 1 is sitting in 4th position. He's 33.4 seconds behind. So there is that penalty, but he's not going to capitalize on it. And now Anthony 82, look how close he is to flip-flop fish. DRS activated. Only 2 ERS for him. Is there going to be a move? Looked on the inside. No. But now around the outside again. I think that might just be Anthony 82's line, though, around there, as we've seen him a few times before try to make a move in that manner. As now Anthony 8291 coming up to the top of Radion. DRS will be activated again. Now, can he make the move? Overtake activated. Flip-flop fish will have it activated as well, but it is no use. Flip-flop fish now slots side by side of him, and no, flip-flop fish kept the position, and now Anthony 82 looking to make a move around the outside. Doesn't happen. And now this is getting really serious. As around the outside looking at the 82. Can there be a switchback made? No, I don't think so. But this is getting really serious. These drivers are very, very close. We're on lap 20 of 22. The Red Bull of Anthony 82 looking to make a move on Sweet Crown 19. And look at that. They're getting really close. There's a little bit of contact. Is there front wing damage? No front wing damage. Maybe a little bit. But overall, keeping it together. Look how close. This is getting really personal. The personal space of these drivers is completely gone now. Battle is on. Lap 22 of lap 20 of 22. Anthony 8291 in second position. And now look how close he's getting. He's going to try to go side by side through Poupon. And now coming up to the bus stop chicane. And will they go side by side through the bus stop chicane around the outside? Anthony 82 looking, and no. Switchback maneuver tried to get made. No, didn't happen. But now Sweet Crown 19 is reveling in all this battling. He's got back in the third, and he's very, very close to Anthony 82. Now Anthony 82 going to make a move around the outside through turn 1. Can he make it happen? Oh, so close. No, doesn't happen. And Flip-Flop Fish keeps the position again. Now Anthony 8291 going to come up through Eau Rouge up to the top of Radion. And look how close they are. This is really, really serious, as now DRS activated through the Camel Straight. This should be it. Anthony 82 is going to take the lead of the race. No, Flip-Flop Fish still keeping it together. Who breaks latest? And it is going to be Anthony 82 finally gets the position. Flip-Flop Fish, though, is not going to let this go down without a fight. And now, oh no, Flip-Flop Fish runs wide onto the grass. And that might have helped Anthony 82 sweeten the deal a little bit. But now, Sweet Crown 19. Let's not count him out of the race. He can try to make a move, though he might get dropped because of penalties. Flip-Flop Fish, though, is still in that slipstream of Anthony 82. This is not done, folks. This is not over. We still have one more lap to go after this. And we'll see if Anthony 82 can keep that position. But these final few laps are creating a lot of awesome action for all of us. And I'm going to be really excited to see what happens at the end. Sweet Crown 19 now in third position. He's 0.89 seconds behind Flip-Flop Fish. He's dropped back a little bit. And now, slipstream for Flip-Flop Fish. Is a big dive bomb move going to be made? No. Flip-Flop Fish keeping it clean. And oh no, Anthony 82 has lost it! And he's crashed! No, he keeps it together, but he's lost the race lead! It's over! He loses it, he spins out almost, and it's over for Anthony 82. He drops way behind the rest of the field. Flip-Flop Fish takes the lead of the race again. Anthony 82 cracked under the pressure, and it's over. Anthony 82 spins at the very last minute. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. As now you see me flying as he cuts the corner, gets ahead of Albiku, and is he going to let Albiku by? No, he doesn't let Albiku by. He kind of took that move a little cheeky. Is Albiku going to look a move? No, not doing any of that. But man, Anthony 8291 had this race, and he blew it. No two ways about it. Sweet Crown 19 has a 3-second time penalty, but man, that's gotta hurt. Anthony 82, that's really gotta hurt. As now Albiku 1 makes the move on the Camel Straight, and gets ahead of Yosemite Flying. He's in the 4th position. Albiku looking for one of his best finishes in WSR at the moment. But I just can't believe the scenes that we saw at the end of this race. Anthony 82 really gave it way too much throttle out of the bus stop chicane, and he has lost the lead of this race. Disaster for Anthony 82. And now he's going to be behind Sweet Crown 19. And now Flip Flop Fish is going to come around the final turn, and he is going to win the Grand Prix. He is going to win against Anthony 82, against Sweet Crown. He defies the odds, and then Anthony 82 finishes in 3rd. He finishes off the podium positions. Flip Flop Fish has won the Belgium Grand Prix. But now this battle isn't over, as WSR Yosemite Flying is challenging Albiku 1. He's really far behind him, and can he make a big dive bomb? I think he's dropped a little bit too far back. I think Yosemite Flying will just keep it together, keep it in 5th position. A little bit of better results in Hungary, keeps it together. Albiku almost pulls the same thing Anthony 82 did, and oh, there's a big crash! Albiku is out of the race! Big incident! And oh my goodness, a huge crash at the end. Albiku is out. Fluffanutta takes 5th position. Big crash. Big crash at the end. Albiku loses it. Big crash, and Yosemite Flying takes 4th. Flip Flop Fish takes the lead of the race, and he wins it. But there's a huge crash at the end. Albiku lost it like Anthony 82 did, and then he crashed, and he loses the Grand Prix. And though there was damage in Anthony 82's car, you can see a little bit of wing damage. Oh, dear no. Albiku losing it at the very end. That is some drama if I ever seen it at the end of this race. It would almost ruin Yosemite Flying's race. He almost collided into Albiku. Man, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you, the final few laps of that race are absolutely stunning, though. But Flip Flop Fish, through everything, keeps it all together, and he wins the Belgium Grand Prix. Anthony 82 absolutely killed his late race lead, and he has lost it. But Albiku won, crashing at the end, and a horrid result for him. And running in 4th, giving it up to Yosemite Flying. Yosemite Flying finishing in 4th. Redemption for him. And let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I've already lost my voice beforehand. I mean, I've had a tickle the entire race. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. It was an absolute thriller in Belgium. My name is WSRX or Noah Clark. You've been watching Worldwide Sim Racing. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram _Worldwide Sim Racing _. It's been a pleasure commentating this race for you. Thank you so much for joining us, and have yourself a fantastic night, ladies and gentlemen. Signing off once more.